Well, how y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a blessed day. My oldest son, up in his 30s, his name is Tony. By the way, he's a good-looking man and he's single. Got out of a bad relationship and just been, taking that time to heal himself. I told him, don't jump into anything. Heal yourself. Anyway, he told me that I should start posting some videos helping younger women out. Pardon me, that women 40 and under these days, they just don't know how to cook because of the generation they came out of. Their parents worked, both of them, and often the mother didn't cook. They would pick up some, bring it home, and so young girls didn't know how to cook. They weren't taught. So I want to talk to you today about a crock pot, all right? I remember when you could get them for under $20. I lived in a semi-truck for 24/7 for 12 years. Had an inverter, and one of my best friends was a crock pot. Now, right now, I got going in here an Asian dish that I started yesterday, and it's let sit, and leftovers usually just get better the more they sit. And I've made me some rice to go with that. Anyway, if your grid goes down and you lose power, you can cook in a crock pot on a fire out in your yard. Just dig you a pit, start your fire, put some more logs on there because you don't want the crock pot directly on the fire. Elevate it, and you can cook in that thing. I don't suggest you use a lid. Cover it with something because the handle is plastic and it'll melt. But this crock pot right here is indispensable. It can take high temperatures. You can cook anything in it, just about anything. And like I said, I made this yesterday, and I'm going to be having it today over rice. But y'all need to get your crock pot. Okay, there's so many things that you can cook in a crock pot. Like I said, in a truck, you learn how to cook. Keep it clean. I always kept it clean and I cook because I cannot cook in an unclean atmosphere. I just can't. And a crock pot was everything. I mean, you can put whole chickens in there. You can make spaghetti in there. You can make pinto beans in there. There's so much you can do. And now, one of the easiest meals to make, I always called it Tuna Noodle Surprise, and I would get my kids with this every year. Every year, I'm way up until the adult years, and I'd say Tuna Noodle Surprise, and they'd say, "What's the surprise?" They did that way up into the mature years. And I said, it has tuna in it. One of the cheapest meals you can make, and of course it was cheaper years ago, get you a couple boxes of macaroni and cheese, make that up, drain a can of peas and mix it in there, and mix you in a can of tuna. Now, I like tuna in water. I don't use albacore for a casserole. I like it for sandwiches. But I never buy tuna that has oil in it. I guess it has its purposes because even biblically, the cost of oil can go sky high to where most people can't afford it. So a lot of things that you can buy that have oil in it is going to help you as far as needing oil. Push comes to shove. But the thing of it is, to me, it gives the tuna a tinny taste. So anyway, you make you up some macaroni and cheese. I remember when macaroni and cheese, Kraft was 38 a box, 38 cents a box. You can buy an off-brand, but I have found that some of the off-brands, the noodles just fall apart in a heartbeat. So you would have to experiment with that. Okay. So, like I said, you mix up your macaroni and cheese. You put a can of drained peas in there and some... Now, if you buy the tuna in water, use the water because that flavor's just going to disperse. See, I had trouble being from an ocean state, even getting my kids to eat fish. And that was one of the ways I got them to eat fish. That, and I'd make fish stick sandwiches. We'd have those every once in a while on a bun, and I'd make up homemade tartar sauce. They ain't nothing but mayonnaise and sweet pickle relish, little onion powder, and some black pepper. Okay? When you learn to make your own stuff, you're going to get by easier. You really are. Okay? Now, used to have a saying, a way to a man's heart's through his stomach. And that's so very true if you have a man that likes to eat. Okay? Not one that's going to criticize and critique all the time. Finding out what he likes is one thing. Okay? But somebody that criticizes all the time, they need to be getting their ass out to McDonald's. Okay? I would tell one like that, you don't like my food? There's a McDonald's about 5-10 minutes up the road. Go eat there. Okay? And you just mix that all together. And it's very good with ketchup on it, if your kids like ketchup. And if you want to get fancy with it, just once you pull it out of the crock pot, you know, just crunch up some cheese crackers or some cheese puffs and sprinkle it on top, pop it into the oven and bake it for about 10 minutes. It's an inexpensive meal that most kids like. And yeah, you can get them to eat tuna that way. You can get a good source of protein. It's low in cholesterol into them that way. So coming from a single mom that had to make do, that's my advice. That's just some advice to you, younger women that may not have that much experience cooking and everything. And save up and get you a crock pot or two. And like I said, if the grid goes down and you lose power, you can still use that crock pot. Yeah, you can. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.